It's wild.
History.
That's it.
Yeah, history.
That's
When you go into some of these barns, do you feel like you feel the history of the place?
it. Yeah. It's some of the stuff is kind of eerie. You know, you sit down and you could feel the labor that went into making that. There was no equipment. Everything like this was hewn. This was pre-industrial revolution. This barn was 1860.
A lot of history.
A lot of history.
A lot of history.
Men were men. Men knew how to work. And to think that this was all 34 by 60, 24 by 36, in that range, that's a big structure to be putting up by hand and timber that size.
See, that's the piece of you. That's the piece of carrying on
the legacy.
That legacy of the country, these guys who got their hands dirty, and they went through some really tough shit. We think we're going through tough shit now.
We got nothing.
We got nothing. These people went through tough shit, and you respect it.
100%.
And that's why you're good at it, and that's why you have the fucking drive to work this hard the way that you do every day, and that's why I love you guys. You smell my pop? You finally say hi? I was asking your brother, he talked about the history of this building a little bit, 1920s, but you guys think it was even prior to that.
I mean, we look back at the Sanborn maps, which is like the old hand-drawn maps from back in the day. 1900, there was nothing here, but somewhere between that 1926 and 1900.
Yeah, and then you guys made this like a pretty unique, no pun intended, showroom for
something a little different, right?
Yeah, I think it's cool shit though.
So I mean, when we started like this building back in the day, it was an old, they made polyurethanes and like floor sanding equipment and all just kind of, it was an old industrial space, so there were tanks and...
Do you own the building?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a relatively recent, about 3 years ago, we took ownership of it, so...
And you guys are second generation, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
The coolest thing about business owners that I like, there's a lot of business ownership that's forced.
Yeah.
And listen, you could be a super smart, hardworking man or woman and still be successful in that business.
Of course.
The ones I'm drawn to the most are the ones that are like, they're made to do that.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely feel like that vibe of like, in the wood game, you're mountain people.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, ain't that the
Get
truth?
in the shop, work with your hands.
Get dirty.
Get dirty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
boots in the mud, right?
That's what America forgot. I think that's what we forgot.
It's long gone, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's gone forever. As much as we would love to bring back manufacturing, and you hear even Trump talk about this, it ain't coming back, dude. You don't have the people to work it, unless it's all robots.
That's right. That's right.
Keep it, in a sense, generational. And, I mean, there's no doubt being around him, his son is
becoming him.
Going to follow in his footsteps, undoubtedly. And it's just what it is, and hopefully that sort of cycle continues, but
yeah, and
see how it plays out.
Like, how far was the GM plant from here? Well, not that far.
Not far.
Right? So the GM plant probably employed how many people in New Jersey?
Forget it. Yeah.
And they had great jobs, but when you go and rip those types of jobs out, now you have a generation that didn't learn.
There's a gap. That's right.
Right? So same thing with like farming. Right? It's almost like they want to take up the farming. That's why you see these foreign governments buying it up, or guys like Bill Gates and other big investment firms. And some people argue, oh, they have so much other money, they need to hedge their shit.
Right.
It's kind of weird that they're buying farms, but I digress. There's no young kids coming up learning farming. Correct. There's this guy, Walt, down in Farmingdale by me. Great dude, and he's an HVAC guy, but he bought this farm and just started teaching himself farming and teaching his kid farming because he believes
unheard of, man.
If we don't continue this,
it's gone.
It's gone.
Yep.
Like, we need to move this into our generation.
Your point, like all the barns that we've taken down over the years, all the farmers just mid to late 70s, early 80s. You know where the kids went? To the big city.
Yeah.
For what? The corporate job.
Yeah.
So what happens? Nobody's there to maintain.
They wanted to get the money out of the land.
That's right. Nobody's there to maintain the barn. They got to pay taxes on it. So what happens? They'll, can't keep up with it, and then we end up. Look, I mean, it's beneficial for us. At least we have the opportunity to get the material and repurpose it into, I'll say future generations for folks. But other than that, I mean, a lot of times they just pull them down and burn them.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's crazy.
It's gone.
So if you guys got a barn hanging out anywhere,
let us know.
Let them know. Shoot them a DM. Let's go check out the shop.
Let's do it. So this is the magic spot. This is 42.
1942?
This is a 42, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. This is one of the most dangerous machines. I mean, I'm sure having wood shop, you never stand behind a table saw. Yeah, this in reality is a table saw on a little bit too much creatine, you know?
Some steroids, on some TRT.
Definitely some TRT. But this will actually, like when it's got a fresh blade, years ago, dopey story, but I was here on a Saturday myself, getting caught up a little bit, fresh blade. I was ripping some blanks down for a project I was working on, and I had that sliding door open, and it took a little ripper and shot it through. It made it through that door, and there's another wall 50 feet down. It went through the wall 4 inches, 15 foot up in the air. It shot straight through the plywood. And I've got a scar here. It shot a little short through the pocket. So I mean, like you're in a hot spot. You know what I mean? Like this.
So I just don't want to be around you when you operate machinery.
This thing wants to put your guts on the floor.
So let's just say I got a 4,000 square foot home, and I'm doing wood floors in majority of the rooms, besides maybe the bathrooms.
Yep.
How long would it take your guys to supply a house like that with this machine?
I mean, we're looking like 6 to 8 weeks. Currently 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. I mean, there's times, depending upon project scale, stock, because that's always changing too, doing what we do.
I'm saying if you had the material
if we had it ready to go, I could run 4,000 foot through in 2 days.
No shit. You could tell this is like industrial, old school representation of like America, what it was built on. I know that's what you guys
They don't make this anymore.
Yeah.
They don't make it. It's belt driven, and everything else is direct drive. The head, direct drive, both heads, because it's got helical top and bottom.
It's like that loss of those little things in America that's
100%.
just slowly going away.
100%.
When you go into some of these barns, do you feel like feel the history of the place?
Yeah. It's some of the stuff is kind of eerie. A few of the barns that I'll actually, like, before we'll start to disassemble, I like to go and just sit down, just be quiet.
Just
just feel it. You know what I mean?
Respect it. A lot of history.
A lot of history. Men were men. Men knew how to work, and to think that this was all. I mean, a lot of these barns are 34 by 60, 24 by 36. In that range. That's a big structure to be putting up by hand and timber that size.
See, that's the piece of you. That's the piece of carrying on that.
The legacy.
That legacy of the country, these guys who got their hands dirty, and they went through some really tough shit. We think we're going through tough shit now.
We got nothing.
We got nothing. These people went through tough shit, and you respect it.
100%.
And that's why you're good at it, and that's why you have the fucking drive to work this hard the way that you do every day, and that's why I love you guys. So I think one of the issues, like working with antique wood and you're tearing down these barns, people who are bug freaks are probably like, oh, they got termites, they got bugs.
Yep.
Talk about the treatment the wood goes through when it gets here.
So I mean, the whole thing, besides our process leading up to, right, we've got 3 dry kilns. So it goes into it's a Nile kiln. We can do like 10,000 board feet a week. So
Explain what that is for the person who doesn't know.
So the big thing, the dry kiln is, it creates a microenvironment. It was an old refrigerated shipping container that was converted. So it's got heating element and a dehumidification system in there. The wood gets loaded in, it all gets spaced out with stickers, which I can show you, just so that the air circulates between all the flooring blanks and the beams or whatever's going in there. Inside that microenvironment, it can get up to 170 degrees.
So you're killing anything.
So we're baking it. So on top of also the heat in and of itself, you got the dehumidification aspect of it, where there's been barn siding that we'll put through, and then we'll plane off the backside, and the carpenter bees, you get the whole colony of carpenter bees, and you come out and you literally roll them in your finger and they turn to dust, because it turns them into beef jerky. Besides the heat, it's also drying them out.
How many people do you think understand woodwork the way that you do in the country?
There's quite a few guys out
there.
There's
400 million people here, but still, think about it in this area alone. Like, I don't think many people know woodwork or the process like this. There may be a guy that can build you a quick table from a garage, but
I mean, I would like to think that there's more people than there probably are, right? And I'm not gonna say anything bad about anybody, but I'll say too that fully understand to the degree of what we do, there's probably not too many.
And I'm not saying it in a way that we want to bash or speak negatively.
No.
But again, to the conversation earlier, these types of trades are going away, and
they're disappearing.
They're going to disappear. You need to have people into these shops. I remember going into Vogue, and they had wood. They were building mini houses. They were
Right.
doing the electrical work. You know, the CEO of NVIDIA just came out and said, hey, the new millionaires are going to be the HVAC and electrician guys.
100%.
It's going to be the labor guys. So
right.
you're a young guy, you're watching this stuff. If you're like Anthony and you grew up messing around with your hands, or you're around an uncle or a dad that was in the contracting business.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Soak it up.
Hit up
That's right.
Anthony. You know, he's
That's right.
probably always looking for some laborers or guys he can mentor. Absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
When I kind of reinvented myself again online, it's always been about business ownership, turning around, giving a spotlight to good people like you who care about the country, that care about the next generation. And what a better place to come to than this shop. You're going and taking the history of this country, going to these barns and other places around our country, all over, you're going and grabbing this stuff, and you're literally feeling it.
100%.
You're caring about it, and then you're reinventing it and injecting it into another generation.
Yeah.
And that's what really Fireside America is about. It's like, how do I go and win? How do I get out of the rat race or the matrix? And how do I show more people to do it? And if I do that, I'm going to end up going where I want to
Where
go.
you want. That's right.
And this place is awesome.
Thank you.
It's very unique. The history of the building, you could feel. It's definitely a little colder in some spots than others. But tell us what the big vision is for Real Antique.
The big vision is to continue to provide quality American product, man. We don't cut corners. We don't, don't try to chintz out. We don't rush our process. This is who we are.
Yeah.
We want to make something that we can be proud of, and most importantly, that our clients' grandkids will hopefully fight over one day. I mean, that's really what it's about.
Made in America.
Made in America, man.
I love it. You're the man.
Thank you.